I'm like, no, we're not gonna do that, Megs. Well, I'm gonna start sharing my screen again, and hopefully no technical difficulties will happen, and hopefully Anise is able to get in. If anybody has her contact information, feel free to reach out to her at this time because I saw her trying to get in and now I don't see her anymore. And I'm like, I don't know what happened. But in any event, one of the things that I realize is that as we kind of grow our businesses, you might have less time if you notice my calendar than usual. So there is a little, do you guys see this? I was like, I know Anise always is really good about having me minimize you guys. Have you seen this? It's a to-do list. And so you can just go like this. And I sent my videos to test, but that's something I need to do. So I'm like, look at recording from 3:12 for round 4. And then it just becomes a list on the to-dos. Isn't that awesome? I was like, so really cool, very neat. And it's just right next to here. So for me, I've a little bit less time during the day. So I've got the like typical things like do outreach. That's definitely something. Make sure I repost the post to my story and things like that. Those are definitely things that I still do. And I did all my thoughtful Thursday emails last week. But for within this, it's really helpful to have that. So just in case you have some less time than usual, it can be really helpful. The other thing I wanted to announce is that I still haven't fixed the link for questions. However, we are going to be doing this workshop on Thursday at 11 a.m. Kristen is going to come. And I think this is the same link from Dotted Lines Contracts. And she's going to help us. If you have any contract questions, please put them there. I know you probably have many with all the making sure everything is legal. So I would highly recommend that. And we're going to go ahead and just get started with coaching because now we're in the second half of the round. And I'm going to get the times for the alumni sessions. I had a client that I wasn't sure was going to book on Thursdays. And so I wasn't sure if she was going to do 9:30 or 11. That's why I didn't get you guys the poll last week about the extra bonus hour for everyone who is done with the initial systems, extra time to brainstorm. And this client she was supposed to start last week and then she got the flu. And so she wasn't able to start. So I will let you guys know after Thursday when we decide on our regular time, and then I will give you guys times. It will be on Thursday or Wednesday, but if it's Wednesday, it would have to be cut short, and I just don't want that. So these are our options. We got lots of fun stuff. It actually, when I first left, it was just then Tammy. So I'm gonna I think that just messed up, but we're gonna go in that order now. And then if you want to start us off with a win, let's just get like 2 straight hours of coach again.
Okay. A win is that I had my first meeting with the two ladies that I hired to help me, and that was awesome. It was really good. I think they're gonna help me accomplish a lot, but that's also what I need coaching on.
Okay, perfect. Amazing. What can I coach you on?
Okay, so I I am falling back into a trap that very often has happened to me in the past, and I am recognizing it as it's almost like a buffering situation where I have so much mental emphasis and focus on my like job that I'm working
Mm-hmm.
that my stuff feels like it's coming last.
Hmm.
And I recognize it and it's making me feel like, scattered and like uh, I just feel like my mind is kind of scrambling all the time right now.
Mm.
Um, and so like for example, my first 2 months at this job, they paid me a guaranteed bonus. This month is the first month that I it's going to be based on my actual results. Um,
I'm listening. I'm just
and
like, I think that
no,
could help.
no, you're good. Financially, it's important that I have that bonus one. Um, so my mind has been focused on like maximizing the sales when I'm doing that job. It is supposed to be part-time. I am having to touch in on something every day with this, even on the weekends at this point. And I'm like trying to talk myself through this is temporary because the intention was for it to always be temporary, which is fine. But in the interim, my goal is to grow my business so that when I walk away from this in July, I'm not having to go look for another job. I am creating enough revenue within my business to be good.
Yeah.
And so I can see where I'm not doing that because I'm not focused on it.
How much revenue do you need to be good?
I need to be bringing in 6,000 a month.
Okay. And this is when you're living with your husband, dual, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we got the 6K a month. How much is the job bringing in?
I take home just under that if I'm getting the bonus payouts. It's like 5,200.
Okay, cool. So we know that you have figured out how to make this happen within your business. You aren't coaching anyone one-on-one right now, right? And
I
we're gonna,
have I am,
okay.
but it's coming up like on it like I think we have about 6 weeks left.
Okay, so you're about to have that renewal call 4 weeks before you finish, was what I would
Hmm.
be recommending. Within that, how much would you need? I know we talked about you doing the course and things
Hmm.
like that to make sure you get that coming up. And I want to support you with that and make sure your team is ready for that. Another thought that I've been having is how much is your one-on-one coaching again?
It's 3,000 right now, but I have had the thought about bumping it to 5, and I am having some resistance around that because I haven't done that.
Well, let's like keep it with where it is right now. 3K for three
Okay.
months? Is it 3K for
For
six
six.
months?
For
Okay, so
6.
you got 6 months. Okay. So, and then how much is the course?
I haven't defined it yet.
Okay.
I'm thinking it's gonna be probably like 97, 147, something like that. It's not gonna be high ticket.
Okay. 97 divided by 5 or 6,000 a month, right?
Hmm.
Divided by 6,000. I did it the wrong way. I was like, I will always do it the wrong way every single time forever. I was like, we just are accepting this and it's fine. Okay. So within this, that's 62 people a month.
Okay.
So that's one way that you can make the income, 62 people. Another way would be to coach 6,000. Are you going to do a payment plan?
Yeah, that's what I have right now.
The other option would be to coach 12 people.
Okay.
So what immediately do you have any thoughts about that? Because I have some.
12 feels like a lot and 62 feels like a lot.
I agree. I was like, let's go with in the times that we have a lot. Maybe we go with the a lot that we know versus the a lot that's new.
Right. Hmm.
Just because I think 12 is a lot less than 62 humans. And
Right.
it's also learning how to sell a course, which we don't know how to do. You know how to
Right.
sell coaching. You've done it before. You have a client. So at
Right.
least that way it's like the devil you know versus the devil that we don't know. You know?
Yeah.
It's like I'd rather tango with and less people. Like and
Right.
if we were thinking about June, all you need would be 12 people to work with till the end of the year and you're good. So
Right.
this would be 12 people for 6 months.
June through, yeah, through like
This
hypothetically.
exactly to bring in 62 times 6 months. That would be 372 humans.
Right. That's a lot.
That's like a lot, a lot. It's like
Yeah.
I've never coached 372 humans. I
Right.
don't know many humans who have been able to, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, the math might be mathing in favor of something else. Something I
Right.
don't think that you considered, the 372 people for the year.
Yeah.
Within this, with that 6K, do you realize that you could sell out your spots right now for one-on-one coaching?
No, I didn't think
Yeah,
about that.
isn't that be cool? I'm like, so we could just like get all 12 of them now, and then it gives you like months before you start working with them.
Yeah. I feel so my first thought is that I am not in demand enough to do that.
So what if can you coach them right now?
No.
What is demand? Like we physically don't have time for it right now.
Right. Right.
So we could say that your time is in demand,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Is what everybody like think about that. Like, what if you're in demand right now because you have time and your time is valuable? Like, just important distinction. But I do think this is a clear front runner for something that's way easier that you could do. You already
Yeah.
know how to do it, you know how to market it, you know how to sell it. I would say if we can nix this for now, all the stuff that you
Hmm.
wanted to do, because that's also creating the course itself, figuring out how to
Right.
run customer service, what happens when they have payment issues for 372 people for a year, 372 times two, that's 744 people to stay at that 6K a year versus 24.
Yeah.
Like that's just 24 people a year.
Okay.
With your current pricing, nothing needs to change and do anything uncomfortable versus
Right.
744 people. Like what? That I think would if and then once we sell out those 24, let's do the course,
Right. Okay.
you know? So I think that you are in demand. Your time is in demand. Let's sell out them to like a start date of June. Let's
Yeah.
think about, and is it June or July? Remind me. Either works.
I feel like either would work.
Let's do like spots open starting in July. It gives them time to think. It gives them time to like maybe save up if they need to. And they
Okay.
can put that first payment down as a deposit. And the way that I've been doing it for people on my one-on-one coaching wait list now, which is cool to say that I have that, is I've
Yeah.
taken their payments and I've just made them do the first payment. And then I
Hmm.
move all their other payments um
When it's actually going to start.
to when it's actually starting.
Okay.
And then I still book their calls out. So
Okay.
like you are still getting the 8 a.m. Monday slot or the 9 a.m. Monday slot in we will start and go from July 20th to July, August, September, October, November, December to December 20
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
I think it's way easier for you.
Yeah. I can see how my brain was actually just trying to like make it more difficult. Um, okay.
So
I
yeah.
I feel like right now I feel very behind on the stuff that we have been working through in this group. And
Okay.
so when I look at it, I start to spiral a little bit with like what do I go back to make sure that I'm not making this more difficult than it needs to be.
Okay. Do you know how to sell the group?
What do you mean?
Do you know how to sell the group? Do you know how to sell coaching? Like if someone,
Yes.
if I got you 12 people on a consult, you got it. So
Yes.
do you know how to market using the pillars and such?
I know how, I just haven't done it really well yet.
And guess who's gonna do it? The awesome team you delegated. They're gonna be
Right.
your people now. It's like, delegate. And that's why I've got this itemizing priorities thing. And they can even
Okay.
watch, like, I'm cool with anybody. If you have other people that are working for you, I am cool with them watching your stuff.
Okay.
The stuff in here. Like, I'm cool with them
Okay.
using your login to watch the videos in here. I want
Okay.
this to be a resource that you have forever and ever. Like,
Okay. Thank you.
so they can watch the marketing module, and then whatever questions they have, they can filter it through you. That's
Okay.
just with me.
That's
Do you
awesome.
know how, yeah, of course. Do you know how to manage leads or what they could be doing for you?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know how to plan and create some time to do consults now?
Yes.
Content now. The only thing I need you to do is have time for consults, time available for consults, and time to create content. Those are the only two things that then you give it to your team.
Okay.
Are the two people that you hired, are they going to, one of them's going to be doing the marketing for you, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. And you mentioned that they were from the Philippines, yeah?
No, no, they're both local to where
Awesome.
I live.
Cool. Cool.
One is in school for digital marketing right now, but they both own their own businesses as well.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay, so you can be
Yeah.
like, this is a great learning opportunity for you, and you don't even need to pay for this program. They get the goods, minus the coaching. They get all this goodness. So within this, what I would love for them to do is I would love for you to, like, the only thing in the way I like to think about it is like if somebody had told me that all you need to do is figure out systems to run a classroom, I'd be like, what? Like, this just makes sense. Oh, I just need to make a system for collecting this and this and this. You're currently creating systems and learning how to structure this new job, right? It's going to be a bit of a learning process and it might be messy till the end. And we're cool with that. Like, it is serving its purpose for right now. And that's cool. The thing that I want you to do is I want you to think about, like, within this time that you have, these are the only two things that, and so it's like, this is going to be delegate. So this is called an implementation matrix. And there
Okay.
are only two things that I can't spell. Two things that you really need to do is you need to make content, time to make content. Your VA is going to decide when you like have time to create consults. This is what you're going to have here. What time you can take consults. And you also need to decide when you're going to be available for coaching.
Okay.
Okay. You know how to market or you know how to sell. So all we need to do is delegate marketing once they've got the content and managing leads. Everything else until, and I'm going to say delete until July, is any additional module. That goes for planning your finances, tracking anything, doing anything like that. You don't need to. You don't file taxes until next year, anyways.
Okay.
That's it. That's literally all it takes for you to run a
Okay.
business. It's like, if you could make content, you're good. And what I would recommend is if we have a certain amount of time and you just like make one video that you give to one of your people, if you can take, and I would make 4 videos. I would change your shirt. I would do 4 videos. I would do one per pillar and I would make 4 5-minute videos. That would mean, and I'll write it out for you. It's like
Okay. Thank you.
4 times 5-minute videos per pillar. And it would be awesome if you could do the cold, warm, and hot and be like, here's my personal story for confidence, and here's this and this, and then here's something, a tip for confidence, and here's this for
Okay.
confidence. But you don't have to do that. Like, you could literally just like talk about confidence for 5 minutes and it will
Yeah.
create 390, like, it's like each pillar, each one of those 5 minutes. All we need are 3 90-second max clips.
Okay.
Those clips turn into 3 posts from the transcript and 3 reels with 3 of the highlight sentences as the caption. That is it.
Okay.
As the caption. Boom. So, what I'm here to tell you is this great news. If you can give me 20 minutes a month, you can be done with this.
That seems ridiculous. Like,
It's
that's my
kind of
first thought.
awesome, right?
Like,
Like, it's kind of like all we really need. Well, obviously, there's time to send it to them.
that's wild.
Could you give me 20 minutes a month? If so, we are in business. No, also time for consults, obviously, but like,
Right. But just like seeing it broken down like that, one makes me feel like a little insane that I was like spinning in
no,
despair.
I just want to show you it would be a very different implementation matrix. If you're like, Megs, I don't give a fuck, I want to go ham on this. I'd be like, we're gonna have a different situation. But you know how to do this. You know how to do this because we would need to add the only thing that would be different is we would need to add make modules, which we don't know how long it takes.
Yeah,
No idea how to
right.
delegate that to anybody. We don't know if they're good at making PowerPoints. Do you want PowerPoints? Do you want modules? That includes a lot of extra
Yeah,
management time. So
yeah.
actually include in here like 10 minutes management time and check in with them. Do a quick run over the posts, run over what they do,
Right.
where they send it. And I would say check in weekly. I'm learning how to do
Mhm.
this now, but I will give you a better way. Me and my VA are meeting tonight, and I'm trying to figure out a way to be like, here are your things to do each day. My goal is that you hit this number. This is going to
Mhm.
track if you've hit this number every single month, every single week. We're going to check in. But I'm like getting her to do a lot more. She's doing a lot more of other things. You
Yeah.
only need this person for you to do business if one of the people can handle making graphics.
Mhm.
So it's like this marketing person. You're going to need to teach them how to use video AI to make the reels.
Okay.
You're also going to teach them how to use video AI or to get it's like use transcript for captions. And then they're going to need to know how to use Canva
Mhm.
to make quick graphic. And I'm talking like literally just like what I do. It's so simple, but it looks actually like really clean and nice. You don't need to have the little emojis underneath it. But I think it's genius because it's the easiest fucking thing ever. The road to 6 figures is simple. How to make your business grow. Sales is a key component. 410 in 4 years. Braid help more people. Like just something like that. It's so simple, but it looks so clean,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So they're gonna need to do
Okay.
that. And then they're going to, and essentially all we need to do is have a presence and have you show up. Yes,
Right.
you have a little extra time and you want to get creative and jazzy with it. Feel free to do a trending reel. Feel free to record some B-roll as you're just around the house, which B-roll, as we learned last week, I think it was you guys that was like, it doesn't stand for behind the scenes roll. It's just, I was like, I didn't
Just
know what it
random.
stood for. It's just like, it's just your secondary role. It's not anything that's like key.
Yeah.
If you can get some of this while you're just like hanging around the house and have them put
Yeah.
text for it, cool. That's a bonus. I was like extra, it's like bonus, record, B-roll or trending reels if you're looking fancy.
Okay.
That's only if you have extra time. Otherwise, this is all you need to get you through till July.
Okay.
We're just gonna call it July. Then you know how to upload things. Upload for you.
Okay.
For your managing lead person, I take that back. You need to do one more thing. I was like, yours is a different name, the whole pursuit. The next person is going to go to all 175 of your followers. It is going to
Mm-hmm.
message 10 a day. Message 10 a video a day. And they're going to find accounts. And remember how we talked about like creating connections with like,
Yeah.
so you're going to need to find the accounts for them
Okay.
and make a video to send to them.
Okay.
Another one, like, so it's like if you go to like I go to Core Power Yoga. It's
Mm-hmm.
like I made a I don't think this was when you could send videos on Instagram. It was a long time ago. It used to be like really like they didn't even have Reels to 2 years ago, by the way. Like
I know.
Reels just started existing. When I first started my business, it was only Instagram lives. So just crazy how much has changed. But with TikTok didn't exist, which is
Yeah.
wild. But within
Right.
it was Vine, which is fun. But within that, like you can be like, hey, it's like I think that we both follow Core Power. Sorry for creeping. I think that you came up with the shared, or it's like I think that you came up on my feed. I'm Jess. I was like, do you go here too? And just like send the video to them. And
Yeah.
this is we're gonna find 100 people here this week. We're gonna find 100 people. And you could just say
Okay.
place. Um, the accounts I would recommend are because I know you do wellness. So it's like also like I would do like gyms that you go to. I would do authors. That was a fun one we discovered last week. Authors that are books that you're reading.
Okay.
Um, anything like that. I would also add that like since they do speak English, like time to respond
Okay.
to people like you. And then within that management, if you could also like include like maybe 30 minutes a week to respond to people yourself.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
That feels way better.
Hell yeah. And if anybody else
Yeah.
wants itemizing priorities matrix, it is here, but it is one of my favorite things to do whenever I'm feeling you. I think you said fuzzy in the head. It was like, I don't know what
Yeah. It's
to,
that's
yeah, it was like it helps me get unfuzzy. And so the bottom on the right, it's like a graph. So it's like this is the time it takes for you to do something, and then
okay.
value and self-reward. So the things that take the least time and are the highest value you do, the things that take the most
Got it.
and are also high value you delegate for sure. The things that take the least amount of time and also are like a little bit of value, like that's when you decide. And things that take a lot of time and give you no value, you delete.
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay. I like it. I have one just random question for you, which we can totally talk about offline, but I want to ask it before I forget.
Yes.
So the clients that I'm working with had me do a intro session with their daughters, who
Ooh,
are teenagers.
okay.
And I know that you've worked with kids, and I wanted to ask what are like the regulations? What do I need to be mindful of? I don't know if it's going to continue or not at this point, but I just want to be, um, you know, cognizant.
Bring this Thursday. This is the one that I had drafted up. I'm going to um I'm going to tag you in it, but
Okay.
this is the one that I had drafted up when I first started. It was the one that the Hiscock lawyer, oh, I don't even think I included this. Um, but it was like my old one was like, let me see if I've got my old one anywhere. I might not because I was like, especially with this person coming in, I was like,
Okay.
I'm sure I have it at the beginning one. Oh man, I was like, it's somewhere. It's somewhere in here in a really good place. Um, it was like here. I think it might be here. Yeah, okay, so this is my old one-on-one coaching contract. And I was like, I don't even know if we can do this. Yeah. But it was like, will not be status of the coach. I think it's like pretty similar to like what it was before. Let me just double check. It was something like this. This is like the big thing that I had before. Um,
Okay.
like will not be liable for any action or inaction.
Okay.
You know, people come in, they're like, I will do all the things, and then they come in, they do not do the things. It's like,
Right.
but I think it was this one,
Okay.
but it looks like
I'll put the question in there. I'm not going to be able to get on that call live,
totally,
but I'll watch the replay.
yeah.
Yeah. Um,
And I would say at that point, I would say like I would ask them like for their consent, and I would also say that um I would also ask them if they want you to keep seeing their kids, would they be willing to get a lawyer to look over a contract just to make sure you're good?
okay.
Maybe they would be willing to pay you for it.
Okay.
Really good question.
Awesome. Thank you.
Of course, so good. I feel like that helped a lot of humans. And Sharon also said that it was very helpful.
Oh, good.
Of course, Tammy, what is a win? And then let's get coaching.
Okay, real quick. Jess, I have friends who coach minors all the time. And so what they'll
Yes.
do is they'll actually have a double agreement where the minor gets to sign as if they are an adult, and also the parents have to sign so that because legally you have to be in the age of an adult for a contract to hold.
Yeah.
So they would have both parties sign it
Great idea.
if that offers any support to you.
Okay. That's awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I feel like the moms are the ones who want me to coach them, so
Mhm.
that's helpful. But it got me thinking about maybe opening it up to another kind of audience for my coaching. So I just want to make sure I'm covered. Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
yeah. Then the
That'd
other
be
thing too
so
is
cool.
when you're working with minors, like if the parent is the one pulling them, kicking and screaming, it's kind of nice to have that minor be able to step up and for you to treat them next level adult, and for them
Right.
to go, oh yeah, this is what I'm in this, even though my parent is paying for it or whatever it is, and I get to have a say because I need to sign my name on the dotted line. Therefore, I need to understand what this means as
Yeah,
they're going through it. So it
that's
gives
such
them
a good point.
some ownership in it too, and it kind of reframes their mindset of this is not just something mom's making me go through. I actually have to take ownership in this too.
Yeah, I love that. That's such a good insight. Thank you.
Yeah,
I just
absolutely.
also that just made me think of my friend Janae. She's a college acceptance coach, and I texted her what she does because she does a consult with both of them too,
Nice.
which is cool. So very neat. Love that, Jess. Excellent idea, Tammy. And I will post the update um in our feed. But Tammy, start us off with a win. What's been going on for you, my lady?
My win is the client that I wasn't sure was going to signed,
Ooh, amazing.
which was really cool. She paid in full and I was like, yes. And it was for my middle tier thing, so I was very happy about that. My challenge now
Yeah.
is Stripe told me, because I deal with collections and credit, that I no longer can be a vendor on their list because I'm considered high risk. And I was like, oh, thanks for telling me after 2 years and no chargebacks and no issues whatsoever. And so now I am getting to find a different way to process payments and set up links and all of that jazz, and trying to see who works with refigure my booking links, refigure, like all the things to keep business going.
Yeah, I was like, because I remember I was talking about this last week. Did Square, if this is important for us to know, if you don't list anything about budget, money, Just if you just say coaching, did Square let you?
Well, I talked to Square this morning actually on the phone,
Hell
and they
yeah.
said there's not an issue if I am not the one doing the credit repair myself. So like that's good news because I
Perfect.
don't I show them how to do it, therefore they're not being taken advantage of.
Yeah,
Um,
be very
and
important.
they know the ins and outs of it. So that's good news there. My other challenge is figuring out just the technology side of it. So I'm like,
Mhm.
technology on top of client fulfillment, on top of standing appointments, on top of schedule. So yeah. So that's my biggest thing. The other one I have is I'm also in a little mini challenge learning how to do reels differently than what I've been doing. So it's stretching and giving me some more um ideas
So good.
and ways to pull things for more content creation, which is fun.
Oh, I love this. Now, do you want coaching on the tech or time? Is that what you're
I
looking for
think it's
coaching?
it's the TNT,
Yep.
baby. It's
The
dynamite.
T,
So like
yep.
this is where it's like there's this
Mhm.
my brain's telling me, oh, technology. And then my other part of my brain is going, Tammy, people pay you for admin support to figure this out. How great is that you get to figure this out for yourself? And I'm just like,
It's like we figured it out. Okay, I am so with you. Here's what I do. Whenever I've got like something new that I'm learning, like for instance, I'm trying to figure out the tech behind ClickUp. It's a project management software that I've heard about. And of course, the second I figure it out, I'm going to teach you guys. But within that, I'm like, there are specific things that I need ClickUp to do. So there's specific things that you need Square to do, right?
I think
Let's
that's
make
part
a
of the
list.
challenge. Okay, so here's my list. I already have this because I was talking to one of my friends he's an IT guru. But he talks over my head sometimes. So I need Zoom, and I'm learning that Square up, or is it Square? I might be getting confused. I think it's Square. Square does not connect to Zoom because they said that Zoom is not secure enough. So the person I spoke with on the phone, they said they're currently working on an internal solve for that, probably their own version of Zoom. But right now, the way I have my Zoom set up is it links to my Calendly. So when people book, they
Mm,
have a pre-questionnaire so that when they show up to the appointment, I already know I've had time to research any answers that I might need to find
right,
um by the time they show up. Or like more along the lines of when I do my debt consultations, people pay me 150 an hour, and
right.
so I'm able to know the questions in advance, or at least know what they want to get away from, like what they want to focus in on the call with.
Okay, so I
And
think that, yeah, go ahead, sorry.
oh, that's okay. And then being able to do that pre-questionnaire, as far as I know, like the person who was attempting to walk me through it, said there's not a way where, as part of the questionnaire, that like I have a thing where like in Calendly, it's so easy for me because I'm used to it now. I think it's just learning where to go in um Square, and I'm like, someone hold my hand, just take, like, don't send me a bunch of stuff to read, just hold my hand and show me where to put the things in the things. So I think I have some of that where it's like
Well, okay, I've like, okay, so I think that your brain is wanting to make things more effective, but it might be making it trickier. No,
yes.
here's what I mean. Like, I think that, like, for me, like, it would be great if everything could all be integrated, right? It would be super cool if I
Yeah.
could, like, integrate stuff. But when I was coaching people one-on-one, I used to do an onboarding form. Let's see if I still have
Mm-hmm.
it. It's like or it was like an intake form. I think that's what I called it. It was like ridiculous. I don't teach you guys this because I was like, it was literally like, yeah, I think last time I used it was like 2022. I'll go back and find the actual form, but it was so in depth. It like took people forever and I never like fully looked through it and I felt terrible. And I was like, the weekly forms that you guys do, I would never, ever, ever tell you to do something that I never look at. Intake. So it's like for me, like I know it's important. That's why you're doing your intake form. This is mine. Yeah. November 2015. So it was like what's your mailing address? What's your birthday? What's your Enneagram type? Employment status? Like, do. Look at how long this motherfucker is. It was so long. However, I did get responses from each person and it could be individualized. So like each person was here, they all filled out the same form.
So am I hearing that I could create like
Just make a form.
a form
Yeah.
that, so instead of,
Instead of trying to integrate it all and like it's like Zoom and Calendar are already integrated. You could make a separate Google form questionnaire and then you could do just payments through SquareUp. So I think that like if you just made one of those, and then what you can do is anytime that somebody books a call with you, you have instead of like in your what I have in my consult is like I have an onboarding form. So you could just have a Google document that you just copy and paste per person. And the link to the form is the link to this general intake form. It's like and then you could just go into here. It just requires you doing a different kind of click. So what I would do is here, it's like it's just loading a little, taking its sweet time. It's really taking quite some time. Okay. But like for my onboarding email for all my clients, I send them a link to the general Google Classroom. You could just send them the link to the general form and just go here when you make a form in Google, you just go send. Because I think what happens sometimes is we're like, and I've done this too. It's like, how can I make this more effective? But this is actually just simpler. And then you could just have this form and you could just send this to everyone who books a call with you.
okay, so, all right, so what I'm hearing you say is someone would go, they would buy my time. I would send them a welcoming thing because now Zoom is not linked to this
Calendly.
thing. Well, like I can't, if I go through, and this is what I'm not sure of, like there's so much I have, it feels like I have a lot to research.
What? It was like,
If they book through, okay, so they go through Square because Square has that booking
and pay it.
feature where they can pay through it, right? Is it
Yes.
Square or Square? I think I'm getting
Square
confused.
Up. Yes, Square Up.
Is that the same as Square?
Yes.
And that's different from Squarespace, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Annoying, but yes.
So
It's like so
that's why-
annoying, but yes. Squarespace,
Okay.
it looks the same. It's just a website.
Okay, so Square Up is the one I was looking at. And if I go through that, they can book through Acuity. Acuity does not allow me to set Zoom as a designated place.
Yes, it does.
Because they told me
Yes,
I'm a
it does. If you go to, you have to go here to integrations, integrate Zoom, and then for each of your like, so let's say you do the debt debt council meeting, you just have to check the box every time you make a new meeting. You just have to check a box.
And on your Square Up, are you doing the 30 a month? Is that what you use for yours?
I don't know.
Because I was trying to figure out the plans, and I'm like, I don't even like all of this is like
Okay, so what I do is all of my subscriptions are through Acuity. So these are all the different pricings I've ever done, which is ridiculous. As you can see, you know why I teach what I teach is because it was a fucking mess. But within here, I just linked it with Square, and this is how I get paid. So then I just so like for instance, like I think you were talking about like the link, like it's like instead of saying that like I made 11,000 from the 9th to the 15th, I know I didn't actually make that. I had what is it? I like if I go to reports, it'll show me the percentage I get taxed. So yeah, it'll be like I got taxed or the fees. So I just count that as a tax deduction, but that's how I get paid. So if all of you guys are in here in my subscribers for Acuity, and you can either do a one-time payment or like people are here. And so like these are all the people who are paying me. And then these are the types of payments, and I do all that through Acuity. I don't do anything through, I don't have anybody do like a link, like the only like the transactions that I do, they're all through Acuity instead. So I think this could be great
So-
news.
When I'm looking at your page, is your landing page through Acuity as well?
Here,
Yeah.
this is through Square Up, but this is just my website.
Okay, so you have a website through SquareUp, but
Yep.
everything is I'm so confused.
Okay. Website, Square Space. Payments / booking, Acuity. Get paid through Square. Sorry, niece just joined. Hi, niece. Up. This is a really good question. And then if I ever have somebody do a pre-questionnaire, I do it through Google Form.
Okay.
And then like Anise, we're doing an overview of all the tech I have. And then I have Zoom. Instead of Calendly, I have Zoom integrate with
Into-
Acuity. And I actually have a training for y'all. If you don't know how to do that, I included it in here. So I'll send this to you.
And then do you have something that walks someone through setting up their I think that's what I'm getting twisted on, because like up to this point I've never bothered with having a website. I've been in business going on 3 years. I've had no
You don't
issues
need
with
it.
website.
No, you do
And
not
that's
need
what
it.
I thought. Like I don't, but then it's like this whole thing with Stripe. I'm going, oh, would that have happened had I had,
No,
like
it would have happened. You would have said you're just a money coach. It's like this is like a little unique thing for you. But I think this is important for everybody to see. It's like, yeah, I have 4 different things. Like I get paid through Square Up, but I make my payment link and booking link is through Acuity. So if you go
Okay.
to my here,
Yeah.
if it's like coaching consult sign up, this is Acuity.
Right.
Megan, is your payment link integrated with Acuity? Is this,
Yes.
would you say that as well?
I
So
would
both
say
the
I would say
payment
it's
link
just
and the calendar integrated with it.
I would say it's just included. My payment link, I took the link from Acuity, really good question. And I was like, yeah, so if like this is my like I just copied this link for these are for my alumni people who are in my one-on-one coaching. And I took that link and I have it in my payment email. I just put the link here, but it's literally just in a janky Google Doc that I just send people.
Right, but the people who actually process your payment, that who is it again?
Square Up.
So Square Up, you've integrated it with your Acuity.
Yes.
So the same way as you integrated Zoom, you've integrated the actual place where your payment is processed.
Yes. And it's been since 2020 when I did this. So bear with me, but I'm pretty sure. Let me see where it is. I think it's
Because right now,
settings. Yeah, payment
I
settings is here. So if you go
Yeah.
to payment processors, it's Square and it just should say it's like Square Up.
And you can do that with Stripe too, because right now I'm doing
Mhm.
payment with Stripe, but I'm not doing this integration thing, and I think it'd be so much easier.
I found that it's easy.
Yeah,
Because then like
thank
if
you.
anyone's like, I need help like changing my like you guys know this, I hope, but like if you ever need to move a payment back, if you ever need to like move things around, if you ever want your payments at a different time, you just let me know. Because right now, when I made and now feel free to look at this payment too. look at this Acuity form, I'm gonna say, seriously, look at this too. Like, look at this for sure, because this whole training on Acuity, actually, I'll tag you guys in this. I think that'll be very, very helpful. Because both of you guys are the T's. I was like, done. But now, you can see how I integrated that. I don't think I talked about payments, but you can see how I can change subscriptions. I put in that video, like you do a package. If you're doing a one-time payment, you're doing a subscription. If it is a recurring payment, and the way that I do my recurring payments is I do, instead of forever until canceled, and instead of per month, I do every 4 weeks. And then number of cycles, it'll be 6. And just for you, for my subscribers, like Amber, the person who's on my wait list for one-on-one right now, I just moved her and I took that and she paid me last week, but I clicked override here and she was supposed to pay me the next time. I think she paid me on March 15th. So it would have been like April 13th or something like that. And I just moved it to May 15th for her, for my, that's what I'm doing for my waitlisters. Because I know for sure we'll be starting coaching by May. And I wanted her to get that payment ahead of time. Very good question. So I think that, like, how does that feel now? Like, I don't want you to have to do any research, Tammy. I'm like, I think that, like, what if that just like solved all your problems? And we just like, you just need Acuity, Square Up to just receive the payments, and you can do your questionnaire through Google.
Okay, so basically, okay, so let me kind of connect the dots. So I
Give
can
me a
get
recap.
Okay, recap. Get rid of my Calendly, switch over to Acuity, set up. I have Square set up. It's got that same logo. I think I'm just getting tripped up that one's called Square Up and one's called Square, and then there's a
There's
Square space. So Square Up, sync that with Acuity after I've set up Acuity, and then that will allow me to still send out like booking links that tie in where people can pay, and then they get access to my calendar, which is synced to my Google Calendar, so that I'm not double booking or booking when I don't want appointments. And then for my different links where I offer different services, like my behind the scene admin, and then my other thing that I do, I can create those through Square Up and have
I would make
those
it with Acuity. I'd make
I'm
it with
sorry.
Acuity.
Oh, so okay, so Acuity allows me to make links that are not related to actual appointments, but instead fulfillment or services that I offer.
Yes. And then you
Oh.
can link it to, so it's like, so I think that, like, the only thing that I would think about for you, I don't know how this would work, but you would have to have people pay and then choose a time. So it's like, I
Yeah,
would
that's
say,
that's
like,
how a Calendly is. Yep.
great. So it's like they have to pay in order to get the booking link.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. For
Okay.
anything you charge.
Okay, so then Acuity basically is kind of like a sort of like a link tree where they click on it and it'll give,
Yes.
oh, okay, I want to buy one of these and 2 of these, and
Yes. And there's an option that you can make a whole payment page. There's like so it's like, there's a way that it's like direct link to store. You can see my store and I took everything off of it. It's like,
do
but these
you
are the consult call you can book here, 2-hour coaching call, consult call.
Oh, I like how you just kept the same logo. I was in Canva this morning trying to make pretty, this is the 15-minute, this is the 30-minute, this is the
No
okay.
way. No, I
No,
was like,
totally. I was like, okay. I love
yeah.
that.
So
Thank
you
you.
can link this to you can make a Acuity store. So that'd be the only other thing, like if you want to have that.
That might actually be easier than what I was. So then through the Acuity store, I can send out links. It won't cause people to have to book an appointment if it's just like they're purchasing admin hours or customer service or sales hours or something like that. Okay.
Boom. Now you don't have to do hours of, I was like, please don't do hours of work. I was like, please. It's like they want more admin, they can book an admin time.
Yeah. Okay. That's actually dope. I like that. Okay.
I like this too. I'm so glad we figured this out. But yeah, the only
Yeah.
payments that you like would need to make would be these, and you can just send them direct link.
All right. Okay, so then really the only thing I have to do now then is set up or because I have Square set up, did that automatically set up an Acuity thing for me, or do I have to be under the Pro plan for that? Do you know?
I don't know, but I don't pay for Square. I only pay for Acuity once a year.
Oh,
Yeah, Square is free.
the heck was I looking
They
at?
do, but Square charges me transaction fees. So it's not free. It just like, but that's a tax deduction.
Right, okay. Like 2.9 and 30 cents per link or something like that. That's the norm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
These are such good questions though. I'm like, yes, these are like the things that like you guys are probably like wondering. And like that's another reason why I like freaking love this group. It's like you're asking all the right questions. Like these are all the questions that were like on my mind for eons. And I'm just glad that we can clean that shit up. But yeah, literally all you need to do are these 4 things. How many is that? 5? 5 things.
Yeah. Ish. Yeah.
That's it. That's all you gotta do. And once this is done, it's done forever. Like you never have to go back in and change it. I don't go back in to my payment link. I have kept this the same. This is for my one-on-one, but it's like
Mhm.
2K a month. And I like literally anytime I do a consult, I just go copy, paste, put their notes in, send. Copy, paste, put their notes in, send.
So then for me, I'm kind of hearing in my welcome email, I would add, okay, here's your booking link. And also please fill out this onboarding questionnaire so we can hit the ground running.
Got it.
But then for my one-on-one consults where it's just a one-off. So it could be whatever, like they need credit help or debt negotiation help or whatever. They click the link. When they click it, then Acuity, I guess I can set it up to where it sends an automated, hey, so excited to be working with you. Please fill out this questionnaire prior to our appointment time. Boom, here's the link kind of thing. Is that
And or you can put it on the payment link. So it's like there's a click box to quick to agree to terms of service, which again, we're going to find out if this is legal. I'm assuming this is legal, but you could have them like fill out this payment form, click here to fill out your form, and then pay now and complete order.
so where does that go to? Does that go to
This is an unlinked page in my Squarespace, confusing website.
so then I need a Squarespace as well.
No, you could just have a link to a Google Doc that you could include a PDF for. So for my going back for my testimonial template, right? That's something that I have for people, they just click a link and they see my PDF. You could just have your contract as a PDF or a Google Doc that they could see in a view only format. This is webinars, not emails. Here we are. So then we've got like the new testimonial template. You could make your contract a PDF and you could go share, copy link, and then in Square in Acuity, it says, I agree to require clients to agree to terms.
Oh, and then I would put that link
And
there.
then you could just put that link here. You do not need a website at all. You could just have a Google Doc. And I could say agree to terms of service.
So I could still skip over having to have a website as long as I have something that spells out my.
And my terms and conditions are from all of my offers. So I have terms and conditions, and you can't see it on my website. That's what I mean by it's unlinked. But if you click into it, it's like, it says like 5,000 pay in full or 6 installments every week for the group. One-on-one clients will pay 12K or 12 installments. 7-figure scaling prices will be determined on the consult. So that's if I work with somebody one-on-one for 7 figures. I haven't done it yet, but I quoted somebody 20K. Like, yeah, I'd totally help you.
Okay, so basically instead of just linking to a website though, it's just taking them to a PDF of some sort.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you could say like for debt counseling, it is this much and we will do this. For from what I understand, again, we're gonna ask the contract people on Thursday. She could be like, that's incorrect. She's lying to you. And I'm like, I didn't mean to, so don't take that for verbatim. But like I'm pretty sure this is because this was what was quoted to me from a lawyer. So I'm guessing that's probably still gonna be accurate.
Okay.
Yeah, you got
Cool.
5 things to do. That's it. How long do you think it'll take for you to get rid of Calendly?
I'm trying to think. Maybe 3 hours because I've got 20 different appointments on it. So then just to make sure I copy paste everything,
Okay, set up Square Up.
set up Square Up.
That's
Oh.
literally just make a login.
Oh, I thought I had to go in and create pages and what am I
Nothing.
doing with Square Up then?
You just start, if you look up squareup.com,
I mean,
you
what,
literally can just go in here and you can click get started and link it to your bank account. And that's it.
oh yeah, that I already did. I already have it linked. That one I
Then you're
already did.
done. Check. Awesome. Then link it. I would say that this might take you an hour.
Okay, so actually I need to set up Acuity.
Yeah, that's the big thing you need to set up.
Okay.
Sync and set up. And what I would do is I would take this, Tammy, and I would copy and paste this, put it on your Google Calendar.
Yeah.
Be like, I'm going to do it this. This is the time I'm going to set aside for this.
Yeah, that'll be done tonight.
Awesome. Love.
Yeah.
And then
Need to do that.
Acuity store like a Linktree. You're gonna do this. This is like the store is like similar to the payments. When you make the store, all you're doing is you're going to appointment types, which is on the far left, and then you do new type of service. And then these are all types of services. So I've got one for one-on-one coaching, and the only difference for you is you're gonna say, is it public or private? The access will be public.
Okay.
So this is like, so for this to do, it's like, this is an appointment types. And then this is in payment. I'm gonna just tell you what the words are so you don't have to like look around for it. You go to home and then you go packages, gifts, and subscriptions.
Okay, and if I make it public though, okay, no, so for my paid one, I want to make that public so that anyone can see that link and I can share it with anyone. But if it's private, that would be like a one-on-one coaching client who has already paid, who now has access to just grab their appointments as needed. Is that the difference between the two?
That's it.
Okay.
So it's underneath sync. The words that you're going to be looking for is on this side. It says sync with other calendars. That's what's going to take you for Google Calendar.
Awesome.
With other calendars. And then it's going to say integrations. That's going to be Zoom. And then the what's it called? Over here on the left, it says payment settings, and that's going to be Square Up. So I would say all of those 3 things to integrate Zoom, to get Google Calendar, all these things. Set up Acuity for this, this, and this. I would say this is going to be 1 hour. I don't think it's going to take you that long. These 3 things are the main 3 things. From there, I would say that making your Acuity store, I would also like make sure you've got the links for that. I would say that maybe it takes 30 minutes. And then I would say that the packages, I would say that this might take like 30 minutes. Maybe an hour for that. How does that feel though? Like way more manageable, right? Like you do not have to do hours of tech or learning.
I think so. I think once I actually get in and put my hands in it, then it'll make more sense. Yeah, because it's one thing to see you navigate and like you know what you're doing, and I'm just like, okay, I'll get there and I'll be okay.
Yeah.
And then for the subscription model, I'm guessing I probably want to do like the growing one for the Acuity. I'm guessing. I'm not really sure the ins and outs of this thing.
Let me see. My account. I'm in the growing, yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
I
And do you
think
have
that honestly,
affiliate
oh yeah,
links
to
to
offer
it?
subscription and memberships, yeah. So I do 324 a year for this.
Okay. Do you have an affiliate link that I can use so you get
Oh my
credit?
God, you're so sweet. No, but I would say just go for it. I should. They
Yeah,
should
you should.
freaking sponsor me. It's like I'm great, Acuity. I give you a whole training. Them in QuickBooks. Like, but I'm like, yeah. I know that was a lot. That's why I'm really glad this is recorded. So anyone else who wants to use Acuity, feel free to go back and watch this and it'll make a lot more sense. And Tammy, I'll make sure that this is recorded tonight and it's up so you can watch this replay and watch me navigate those things really quickly.
Yeah, because I think if I can just pause and go, okay, do step
Yeah,
one.
be like,
Okay, what'd
pause.
she say,
Where did she
rewind?
click? Pause. Click here. Pause. Do this. I think you got this.
Yeah. Thank you so much. That's so helpful. I appreciate you.
Oh my gosh, of course. I think this was very helpful for all the humans. So, okay. Okay, okay, I'm just looking through the questions. Everything is figure outable. Me too. What plan do I have with Acuity? Acuity doesn't send invoices. Really good question, Sharon. I just have everyone do reoccurring payments. So it's just sucked from their account. If there is an issue with a client, I go in here and I go to my subscribers. And if like randomly like an account gets canceled and it wasn't supposed to, like it was like done beforehand, what I do is I can change their credit card in here and I do that with them on the call. It's funny, I like saved one of my old clients' cards, evidently. Whoops. I don't know how to fix that, but all of that's in there. Really good question. Did I set up Acuity with Squarespace? Yes. All you have to do to set up Acuity with Squarespace is link your Squarespace to your bank account here. So I linked this to my bank account for my bank. Then I went to Acuity. I went here to go to payment settings and I managed it and I linked it here. So that's how I linked Acuity with Squarespace. I have a Squarespace website and they offer, okay, did I link Acuity with Squarespace? No, I linked Acuity with Square Up. That was a question, Sharon. Acuity is linked to Square Up. Squarespace is the website. So Squarespace, it looks like this. It's a very similar logo too, which is like so fascinating. So this is a Squarespace logo. It looks like an S. The Square Up logo looks like the squares. Like, have you guys ever seen like they used to do those little squares that like you could swipe your cards? That's what it kind of looks like. If they offer setup, Sharon, you said they offer setup for payments. Could you explain what that means?
So, okay. So when you go into Squarespace, you have a website. They have a feature in Squarespace that you can link it to Acuity. And so it's all done within Squarespace. And so that way it automatically links to your Squarespace website. So then you could have your calendar and everything else on your website. So that's why I was asking that question. If there was a downside
I love
through
that.
yeah, so it actually
We
is
should.
integrated into Squarespace. You just have to set up a separate account for Acuity.
Wow.
But I didn't know if, and then that way it automatically links everything to your website. But I
Very
didn't
cool.
know if you did it that way or if there was a downside to doing it that way.
Did not, and I think that's awesome because then more people will be clicking on your website instead of into random Acuity ether if you have a website. So I love that.
Yeah.
And then did I do that manually? Yes. So within Six Figure Systems, I do not do it manually. I don't send anybody anything manually. Everyone gets charged automatically. So if I wanted to go in and be like, okay, I want to change your payment plan, I want to override it and I can even Be like, okay, I want to do this on the 29th, not the 28th. And I can change that there, but everyone's just getting charged automatically.
Yes, but you sent an invoice to me saying
Ah.
a total of 6-figure systems, and it was an invoice. I was curious if you did
So-
that manually or if you had you had Acuity or some other service send that out.
I think it was because, so I accidentally, this is because I charged you.
No, it's
accidentally?
totally different. When I signed up for the program, I got an invoice, which then I put in my business file for my taxes.
That's cool. I didn't know you got that. I was like, I love that. Yes, I am so glad. I totally planned that. Nope. I was like, I don't even know how that works. But evidently it happened. So that's cool. Yeah, I don't even know how that happened.
Okay, that's good because in Stripe you have to pay extra for if you want to invoice somebody. So I just sent them out manually. So I was just curious. Okay.
Yeah, no, I did not. That's very jazzy. I'm glad that I accidentally did that. So very good news. And if anyone like with my W-9 that is also in the 6-figure systems classroom, if your accountant needs that, or like I don't know what else I would ever give an accountant, but like it's here. So if your accountant needs that, let me know. And you can just send it to them. But they typically don't need anything else from me. Like I don't even need a W-9 from 200K, and I spent $100,000 there. $100,000. They didn't even need a W-9 to say it was legit. Like, well, here's hoping. I'm glad they trust me, but it's like, yeah, crazy. Drives me. I was like, but yeah, didn't need it, so it's good. Very, very cool. Okay, Missy. Start with a win. What's been going on?
Hi, everybody. My win is actually, this is very exciting. I am going to start, and I already have the first one on the calendar, scheduling a day off of my day job to be a coach for a day, which feels
Good.
really fucking good. Like, just take the leave that I never have time to take and like work on my business. So that feels good.
I love it.
First day is April 1st. Looking forward to it.
Amazing.
And as far as coaching, I have two things. They're probably very related. So I always crack myself up. This is not the first time I've done this. Um I did this freebie like sweepstakes that I started on where I'm trying to my purpose is I'm trying to draw more people to my website and my Instagram. So
Right.
I call it a sweepstakes and I, follow me, get an entry, refer somebody, get an entry, all these rules. Which I was all excited about. And actually, another win, the email I sent out to my list, I think it's the first time I've drafted one where I was actually overcoming an objection in it. So that felt good.
Awesome.
So just feeling better about like my content getting slightly more, a long ways from where it needs to be, but slightly more focused on the client and not on like, I want to coach you, which I catch myself doing all the time. So with that, I like went to bed all excited and woke up like expecting to have some followers and some like something fucking happened. Nothing did. And I've like talked myself out of the drama around that mostly. And I think that's like number one is like the fact that, and it's still 2 weeks, I've got time. I'm going to keep pushing it and all of that.
I saw
But thank you. And I'm glad I did that for myself. I gave it a little bit of time. But I think one of the ways I'm getting lost or the message is lost is for me, I've been in the personal development world for so long, and you and I've kind of talked about this. Like, I think I just assume everybody wants coaching. I'm like, it's
I
so
think you do
obvious
too.
that it's amazing. And yeah, right. So I think that's what I need coaching on more again. It's like, how do I explain the value when I just don't understand that people don't understand?
Yes.
Like, it's gonna
Okay.
change your life, just believe me.
This is
That
the
doesn't
exact
work.
question. It's the best question to ask because I did the same thing when I was first starting my business. I was like, how do I explain the value? And the quest, so it's like, there are two ways. You want to show and tell them. What I mean by that is I want you to show them what is coaching. I would love for you to coach someone for free and use clips as reels on your stories and do something like that.
Hmm.
I want you to show the world what coaching is. The other way is I want you to tell them and not tell them they're going to get free coaching, because people want free coaching, but people want even more than that. They want to, people don't want to do these. They really want to be compelled to do these things, right? So it's like, what do they get from 4 sessions of coaching with you? Can you tell them it's like, and I would make it related to one pillar. So I would be like, lose 5 pounds. It's like lose 2 pounds within the next month. You will like, what is the tangible? Because I think we're talking a lot about like intangible, like very
Yeah.
abstract concepts. So tell them the exact results and give them
Yeah.
examples so they can like see it for each pillar. So tell me, like with the health pillar, what is something that they would be able to get from there?
I'm gonna just choose to not have drama on pillars today.
Eh,
So
isn't it
this
fun?
is good. This is good for me. Okay, so for the health in 4 weeks, they would have one, a clear plan of what being healthy actually means for them.
You can
Two,
make
they
it more tangible. Make it more tangible.
um, just a plan.
For
Well, okay, maybe I think I'm going too small. Like, and it would be. I think this is where I get lost, Megan. I think this is why I'm
I think
so
so. I'm
confused
like,
and
if we can get you
frustrated.
there, he's like, if we're like, you wanted clarity in your messaging. So this is the clarity in your messaging that you've been looking for. So they don't want health. They do, but they don't. Why do they want health? What
They
piece,
want more energy. They want
how?
to,
Okay,
yeah,
right? So again, okay, how will they have more energy? By 4 sessions of working with you.
because they'll create time for taking care of themselves.
And what
But
does
that's still super vague.
no, right? We're getting clearer. We're getting clearer each time. You went from saying, what did you say? They will prioritize themselves, which is like
Yeah.
super big, to like they're going to create time to take care of themselves so that they will have more energy. That's already so
Yeah,
much
I
clearer,
mean,
right?
and
What are
honestly, three of my clients, it has literally been finding time to pull themselves away from work to go for walks. It's like that simple, which has changed their world. But in my world, I'm like, I run 20 miles on Saturday. Like, I think I'm making it mean less.
value?
Ugh, that feels icky. I think because it's like, I do actually, for them, the results were so huge
Why?
because it started momentum for them in like real ways, where they ended up like really taking care of themselves. So I don't think it's not that I have judgment about. Okay, this is interesting to say that I don't have judgment about like the 5 minute break. I actually think that's like really important and good for people to figure out how to do that. I think where I struggle is like, I think other people don't think it matters. They're like, well, I can just figure out how to do that.
Why? Can you give them a reason why it does matter?
Well, so sorry, I don't mean to avoid the question. I think again, I go back to because I'm talking to everybody, like maybe it's because I know so many people on my feed, and like 80% of the people on my feed are like runners who this isn't their struggle, but the people that have come to me, it is. So I feel like I'm talking to the wrong thing to the wrong people.
I agree. And then how could you help a runner in 4 weeks?
Okay, that's a better question then.
If 80% are runners, let's like give them the health they want.
That's a good point. Yeah, why am I? Okay. Well, okay, so the runner like also wants to get away on their lunch break for a run, but feels guilty doing it. So
Yep.
like figuring out how to in 4 weeks, I always want to go to mindset. It's like figure out how to feel better about that, but not feel guilty.
No, it's like I'm gonna teach you how to, but okay, they don't, yes, but like no. I'd say like it's like I'm gonna teach you how to prioritize nutrition for your next race. I'm gonna teach you how to get away for on your lunch breaks for your run.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that you can like hit your PRs.
Yeah, I think that
Do you
I
see
think
how it's like, and you're like, and I'll show you how not to feel guilty, and you're gonna feel bad. It's like, but like, it's like they're like, wait,
yeah,
is that can you really do that? Okay, all right.
yeah. I think oh, I
It's
am
like, so what I would
thinking
do
of
is
that
I would
now.
say, just like we did, and I don't know if you did you ever take it down or you put it back up? In a I would make this for your post, and I would do a very similar freebie for I would make a copy of this and be like, join the giveaway for the
Mm,
up leveled month is what I would call it.
yeah,
Instead of saying it's like the coaching giveaway, it's like the up leveled month giveaway, which is still coach speaking, but at least it's clearer. You know, it's like no one, I don't think
yeah,
people know what coaching is. So then on each page, you're like, the up leveled month giveaway is 4 coaching sessions. Here's what you could create within these 4 coaching sessions. You could improve it's like
yeah,
accelerate your health goals, either walking more, creating that lunch break, or running. Or it's like or prioritizing nutrition. You're going to generate more confidence, get that raise, apply for the promotion, um book that
yeah,
trip you've
that
been
makes sense.
thinking of, you know? You are going to overcome stress within this for it. This is going to be your month to up level your stress management. You're going to learn how to stop yelling at your kids as much. You're going to learn how to um have more like what are the things that stress like you see what I'm saying? If you can give 3
Hmm.
examples for each pillar, holy shit, people are going to start to pay attention.
Yeah,
I
that
was
makes
really,
sense.
really hoping you would get coaching today because I saw your giveaway and I was like, this is so cool. And I know a way we can make
And
this
nobody
even
wants it the
cooler.
way it sounds.
We're
Like
just gonna make
nobody
it
knows what that
even
means.
cooler. They were just like, it's like, so it's like I would say that like ready to start momentum in real ways. This up leveled month giveaway is for you. And then have it's like, here's how you apply. You do this, this, and this. You also gave them like a lot of things to apply.
It's way too much.
I was like, it was a couple of things. And I was like,
It's very
join my email list,
complicated.
follow me, share my website, tag a friend in this. I was like, that was like a lot of things. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's like a lot of things. Like that's gonna be like
Well,
so
and they only have to do one, but 'cause my point was it was like, okay, I've got a lot of people that aren't in either place, so I probably should have just phrased it separately for my email people versus my Instagram people.
yes. And I would say that do the biggest bang for your buck, which would be join your email list.
Yeah,
And so what I did with a
yeah,
client yesterday, she did hers as a giveaway for the PTA at a local school. And she was like, everyone who applies, you're gonna get my freebie. It's like this planning page to lose weight. And one lucky winner is going to get 6 weeks of coaching to lose 5 pounds before the summer. And she's a weight loss coach. But I was like, yeah, that's compelling as fuck. Like, I'm gonna get something
yeah.
free for this, and I'm going to get
I
more.
think, yeah, I think that's where I'm sick of being stuck on this, but I think that's my problem is like I'm jealous of all the weight loss coaches and the business coaches that can be like, you're gonna make money or you're gonna lose weight, and it just feels so
Guess what?
simple
You
and
can say
clean.
that.
I
Make
know. I
money,
don't know.
lose weight. Look at that.
That's true. But I don't like strategy. I like mindset. So I'm like,
But
I
how do
like
they,
helping.
right? How do
I
they make
like
money?
helping people. Well, I mean, it is all through mindset, but I'm like having a hard time figuring out how to help people get in the door. So that, because I'm very much client centered coaching. So like I pick their own brain. I'm not going to tell them what to do. I want them to figure out ways that work for them. And it's super fun when we get into it, and I love it.
But I
But
think this is
because of
your
that,
idea
I'm like, I don't know where they're going. So I don't know ahead of time, which makes it fun in the moment, but it's like
Right.
I'm
So we need
spiraling.
to
I
meet.
hear you.
What are the things that you like to solve problems for? What are the things that you think are fun?
As much as I made a weird comment about it earlier, I did like, it was super fun to like the 5 minute walk for lunch, like just like seeing my clients light up when they're like, yeah, I actually like shut my computer down for a minute and just like gave myself a second to breathe, like, because it just kept spiraling into more positive moments for them. Like that's fun, like creating time. I really I like, which is going to sound weird, but like being proactive about grief, I kind of like helping people learn how to manage, like get ahead of, like they know they're going to feel like shit on a day, like helping them think through like how to not have it suck as much as they think it's going to suck.
What are your pillars? Health, confidence, stress, and what was the last one? Relationships?
Yeah, I don't know.
What are your pillars? It's like, oh my God, people are gonna be like, this bitch is crazy. She's a drill sergeant. I'm like, no, I promise I'm not.
No, I was funny. I was texting with Sharon this morning and she was asking about my pillars. I'm like, ah.
Productive. You want to help people be productive. So I would say that we could talk
Yeah,
about
that's true
relationships.
too. I should really pay attention to them because they do
Yeah, maybe
believe
they're
that.
like pretty good. Okay. Okay, so it's like, what about productive? What could help them? It's like for confidence, they can make more money, lose weight in whatever way they see fit.
And okay, productive. Actually, I do like helping people be more productive.
Isn't
Because
it
it's
fun?
like
It's almost like they create
it.
momentum and movement. Be the movement coach. I can't with that. That was so the funniest. You're like, so I think I figured it out. I'm a movement coach. And I said, that is so exciting. I cannot wait. Like seriously, we're gonna look back on this a couple of years from now. We're gonna be like, that was a moment. That was a moment. We all
I can't. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to looking back and being like, remember how damn stuck you were and how simple it really was. You just
it's
couldn't get out of your
actually
own damn
super
way.
simple. But okay, like okay, so I used to teach children, right? I used to like teach elementary school age children. And when I was teaching them, I had to figure out how to describe the letter A. Like, how do you tell
Yeah,
a kid that that's an A? It's something you know so well. You're like,
yeah, yeah,
it's
yes.
an A because it is. Why
And
do
I'm
letters?
like
Why do they make
assuming they already
sounds?
know cursive. Yeah, yeah. And that's actually huge for me the last couple of weeks to be able to see that I'm doing that. So I think I'm just still trying to like rewire my brain to be able to like sound like I'm talking to people without talking down to people because I think everyone's super brilliant that's in my audience. And like I feel like I'm talking down sometimes when I'm saying stuff simply, but I think it's just they're speaking French and I'm speaking English or whatever.
And I think that's honestly a little bit what has been happening. And we're just like, they've understood parts of it because they really like your energy. And we're just going to get it even clearer. Like, what is something that you could reasonably, it's like, help somebody do? It's like, maybe you could help them lose the first pound if they want to. Do your people want to lose weight? Probably.
Yeah, they're not usually saying but like they wanna feel better, like in their body and have more movement. I know. There I did it again, right? Feel better.
Can
Journal.
I make a face? Can I just make a, I was like, this is the coach speak face.
Hey,
Like,
yeah, that's really helpful. I'm gonna improve that into my brain. Be like, oh, wah.
it's like, do they want to make more money? It's like, make a plan to get that promotion.
Yeah.
That promotion.
Okay. Yes,
Noted.
they want to lose weight. They want to feel more toned. They want to have
Perfect.
more. They want to exercise more.
It's like, so it's like they want to feel more, create an exercise plan to feel more toned. I was thinking about productive. It's like they probably want to clean out the house. They want to get their pantry organized, clean out their closet, like
Yeah.
have an empty inbox.
Oof, that's the dream.
Wouldn't it be like, so it's like, and it's a dream that you can create for them because all they need to have an empty inbox is a couple minutes to themselves they feel like they can't make the time for.
Yeah.
And they need probably a system to make that happen. But it's like the mindset behind it. It's like, you know what I mean? They like you
Yeah.
can have an empty inbox if this is something you really want.
Yeah, this is helpful. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna actually follow through with pillars. I'm just gonna stick with these. I'm gonna
You're gonna
make it
try.
into my carousel.
And I
be
want
specific.
you to make, so this is your to-do.
Yeah, I need an assignment. I'll really do it.
Okay. So this is gonna be, we're gonna have, the first thing that we want to do, I would love for you to do, is make your pillars into a carousel. And that will be the first pin. I would love to have a video of you talking about the coaching in the second pin. And I would love for the third pin to be this giveaway. And I want it to be a carousel.
I feel like 1 and 3 would be almost the same thing.
Yep, you just change the colors or something like that.
Okay, so don't overcomplicate it and try to make it super different.
Please,
that's where
for
my
the love of
brain-
everything good and pure, no. It helps your branding. It helps your branding. It makes it better for people when you keep it clear.
Okay.
I use the same chaos to cash flow webinar is the same exact. You're gonna see this for every single webinar that I ever do ever. It's gonna be the exact same thing. I'm not even changing the colors. I'm like,
Yeah, and I like that. I do actually want simplicity, even though I fight against it. That sounds good.
I got you. Okay. How does this feel?
Good.
And I want you to include these examples in your include examples in this one. Include the same examples as below in there. So it's like the only thing that you're gonna like I want you to have a little bit of this. But you got it. I really do think that you are seeing it now.
Yeah, I do. I think it's real progress.
This was a breakthrough day. I'm fucking proud. I'm like, this was a really big day, and I'm really proud of you. And I cannot wait for, and oh, another thing to do, if you can, do an example coaching call.
Okay.
It could be with a friend, it could be with somebody in here. If you can like coach somebody for like 30 minutes live, or just on a Zoom link, you could just coach somebody and then get snippets from that from Video AI.
Okay, this feels mostly doable. I got it.
And like, okay, how about
we're making progress.
we are. And I'm like, I think that this would be 30 minutes. I think this will take 30 minutes. I think this will probably take you 30 minutes. So if you
Yeah,
can
I have it basically done. I just need to fix the words so that they
Mhm.
aren't like Greek.
Yeah. So if we can take 30 minutes, if you can give me 2 hours this week, I genuinely think that you have talked about your positioning and clarity in your messaging. I think this is going to be huge for your people to hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, thank you. I appreciate you.
Of course, I appreciate you. You crushed it.
Thanks.
This was like seriously so good. We're all so proud. I think we're all seeing it here. So well done.
Thanks, guys.
You're doing awesome. All right, Sharon, what was a win? And then let's get going. Oh, you're muted. I was like, it looks like you're really like, I can see the passion.
So I was going to give Anise my spot if she wanted to go, since you and I meet after, if that's helpful. Anise.
Oh, of course, of course. I was like, Anise, do you need anything or are you feeling good?
Yeah, I probably need to kick up the arse.
I was like, oh, perfect. Start with a win. And then you're gonna get
So,
some
before that,
surprise coaching.
I also want to ask the group about something, so I will do a win. My win is I've got really clear on the impact of my communication pillar, and I've got clear on my confidence pillar.
So we
since-
see that last pillar. Is that one?
And the confidence pillar.
We've got communication, confidence, and what was the third C that you have?
The last C is the conflict. That's what I want to ask the group about, actually.
I was like, also Anise has her 3 C's, which is just like so badass. We love this.
And the 3 C's give way to courageous, compassionate, and curious leaders.
Woo!
It's all about the fucking C's, isn't it?
We are all
Um,
about C's.
All about C's. So the conflict, I want to ask the group actually. And I should be able to do conflict. I've been divorced. I should know about conflict. That's right, 7 years ago. What if people are coming for conflict coaching? What do they want? I know what I can give them, but what do they want?
Okay, I want you to answer it for yourself before anybody else enters.
Yeah, it's fine.
What do you
Well,
think they want?
I this is as far as I've got. They want. No, I'm not gonna look at my notes. I'm gonna do this. They want to be able to navigate. Oh, I tell you what. Do you want me to send you the new one?
I want you to tell me. No, I want you to tell me now.
No, I'm not. It's not off the note. No, but the thing is, what I've done is I've taken that, what we did last Wednesday, and I've just copied it and put it above it. Do you want me to send it through?
Yes.
Yeah, just so
But
that.
I was just saying, like, for your own brain to,
Oh yeah, okay.
I
All
want
right,
you to regurgitate what you
Yeah,
had,
no.
because the more you can restate it without looking at it, the better.
Oh, totally. Otherwise, like feeling a bit like Missy, you're just like, yeah, what am I doing?
Yeah.
So what they want,
Feel it.
what they want. So what are clients? They come to me because,
Where are they at before they work with you?
yeah. So basically, what they're saying to me is this person's behavior is unacceptable. I need to have a hard, difficult conversation with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be able to have the right words, and I want to be able in the right space so that it's a productive, there goes the word, productive conversation where we're both clear at the end of it.
Clear. And why is this important?
Because the conflict has arisen because of expectations and miscommunication. And what they'll get from it is employees who know how to behave. They'll have cleared the air. They will be able to work better. They'll be more productive. Everybody will be more productive. And the leader won't be stressed out about this employee who's basically a pain in the ass.
Yes.
Yeah.
A
Go back to that stress. That was there.
stress
Yeah.
managed work environment.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, what was your question again? It was like, you see what I mean? I want to just challenge you that you have genius within yourself that's waiting to be realized. And I think you do know what they want.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the most clear things I've ever heard you say. That was really, really great, Anise. I'm not kidding. I'm like, that was so clear. I was like, literally, like, that was it. You're getting every single person in here. I want to just like celebrate the fuck out of us because every single week, everyone's getting better every single time. Like, it just feels like we are all creating this inertia together, which is like so fucking good. And yes, you know what they want. So they're coming in for conflict coaching. They want to have a stress-free or stress like less, like a little bit less work environment where everyone is held accountable
Yeah.
and they know expectations
Yeah.
and any and know how to have conversations,
Yeah.
productive conversations.
Yeah. And
So
how
do
I'll keep that to myself. Yes.
Go
okay.
ahead.
No. But I mean, that's the thing is I'm doing all this research as to like, how do I do it? But actually that's nothing to do with them. And this is where I get kind of stuck in the weeds, isn't it? And I start thinking I need to know everything before I get out there.
No, and that in fact, like I think that one of the assets that I had not having an MBA as a business coach is I figured all this out on my own. I think that my systems are very unique and nuanced to the solopreneur situation. And I customize and cater things for every single person I work with versus following a protocol that somebody else has told me.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that for you, your how is going to be a customized and individualized system that you create to serve the company's best interest. Something that's it's like because yeah, we might not have MBA. Actually, I don't know if you have an MBA. You don't have an
No.
MBA, do you?
But no, it doesn't matter though, because the thing is,
We know how to
particularly-
teach.
We do know how to teach. But the thing is about the conflict is so much of it is to do with where that person's EQ is at that point.
Yes.
If they can read what's going on with the other person, then you're already like 80% up. If you've got a leader in front of you who's got no EQ, you start at a different place. So I've got to know, I've got to be able to meet that person where they're at, rather than you're right, having like right, well, let's start here, let's do this. No,
Mhm.
what don't they get about, why is there the conflict?
Yes.
Right. And
Right.
what are they hearing? Yeah. So that's why it's got, and then I can say that. I mean, obviously, I won't
And
say
then you can say that and be
you're
like,
not an idiot.
it's not one size fits all. It is this thing that fits your company. And that's what's going to sell you more than anyone else. Everyone else is selling like, we do have the productive conversation blueprint or whatever we called it, the productive negotiation protocol. It's like, I do have a protocol, but I meet people where they're at. I talk to them in ways that they can really understand and hear.
Okay, that's good. Okay, I have one more thing. Thank
You
you,
can.
Sharon. Didn't realize this. Okay, so I keep reading or I keep hearing how to, so obviously, there's a couple of ways to get people to trust you. Is you've got to show them, a bit like you were saying to Missy, like you show and tell. So you show them results, but also like how do I go about differentiating myself from, I know that we can do the expert thing, but is there anything else that you would pose how apart from showing up as me, which I'm getting much better at, how do you differentiate yourself as the one that you want people to come to?
Okay.
Like,
I was
basically
coaching-
asking myself, why me? Not because of my self-esteem. I have no problem with that, but like, why me?
No.
How
I think it's
can
actually a good question to ask. And I think that the way I differentiated myself was my drive.
You what?
I was like, my drive. I will go and find you if you need my help. I will be the most tenacious person and I will go to every single company and I will figure out a way for you to want me. You know what I mean? One of them is going to want my help. I think I was the most tenacious. I talked with a client this morning and she's like, I just kind of like want to be a lighthouse for my people. And I was like, that sucks for them because most people have never maybe worked with coaches before. And you're asking them to take a paddle boat, like a little paddle boat where you just stand on that shit through a hurricane in the Outer Banks. And you're
Wow.
like, but I'm a
You did that
lighthouse,
on
so I've
top.
like shown my light a couple times. So come and get me. I'm like, I will take my tanker with as many support things as I possibly can, and I will come and find you and help you where you're at. That's what makes me different, is I will find you and I will help you if you want help. But I'm not gonna sit back and wait for you to come to me. I will always come to you first.
So that's kind of like, I bring my full heart to you. I'm not going to say
Yes.
this word. Is that kind of like, it's the
Yes.
it's the massive energy. We will go together.
Yeah, it's like if you need help, I will find you. It's like I will find where you are. I will go to every single company in the entire UK and I will find this And then I'm going to go into the companies in all of Europe. And then I'm going to go to all the US companies. And I'm going to break into LinkedIn in all these spaces. And I'm going to make myself known because I'm going to make it happen. Yeah, there are probably people who are better, smarter business coaches than I am, probably in the world. But I know that I will go to bat for my people and I will find anyone who needs help. I'm like, and I will help them in the capacity that they wouldn't have gotten help otherwise if it wasn't for me. And I think that's how you differentiate yourself. You show up, you actually ask questions that are meaningful. You ask how you can help. Ask meaningful questions. Like they could book for, it's like individualized questions. Show people you care. Instead of just looking at a paycheck. I'm like, I will get to know your business. I know people's businesses that will never work with me, but I know stuff about their business. I've already helped them in ways that they wouldn't have gotten help if I hadn't DM'd them.
Yeah, because this is what you and I were talking about last Wednesday, wasn't it? About your massive vision that you've got for yourself and
Yeah.
how I felt that I didn't have that until right at the end when I was like, sorry, I'm trying to get my cat not to jump on my keyboard.
Your tiny zoo. I love it.
You've seen my cat. You've seen my dog, haven't you? This is the
I've
cat.
never seen your cat. Ah, that's so sweet.
He's come in. He's decided to come in today.
Oh my gosh, she's so small.
Oh, he's not. He's huge. Anyway, it's a big chunky.
He's very cute. I love him with all my heart. I love cats.
Yeah, so at the end of what it was about,
the vision you have for the workplace, right? And if we think about like your daughters, the workplace that you want them to go into, you want that to be the heart-centered like leadership that you are creating now. It's like, I want corporate America to look different because Anise Frost showed the fuck up.
Yeah, no, I like that.
You know what I mean?
I need to have a bigger vision because
let's make the bigger vision.
Yeah, because that's what I think is going to motivate. At the moment, I'm really stuck. Not like really stuck, but I'm a bit like, meh. And I think I need to, that's why I need, as I said to Sharon, I need to kick out the fucking ass right now. Because it's that sense of like, bigger vision works for me.
And I think that like, I think when I talked to you guys about this like last week, about the different types of buyers, and it should be like the view only work one. But within here, like, it sounds like you are an expressive buyer. Like you need to see the big picture. So, and I'm like I'm a doer. What is the goal? What are we going towards? Let's go. And then there's like the amicable people and then there's data driven. So within you, the bigger vision for your coaching company, I want you to think about like all of our, like for generations to come, people are going to be entering the workforce and they're going to be starting companies. The narrative right now is that the workplace feels, where's your pillars? It's like the leaders in the workplace aren't communicating. They don't know how to resolve conflict and they're not really confident. And so I think that we're in you said that you're stuck, right? I think that our contributions are stuck right now as a society. Are stuck. And that goes from founders and leaders and companies. In order for us to like really break free, the ways that we do that are by communicating better, by resolving conflict, and having the confidence to like really take on these dreams, to take on the next generation's level of problems, to make the workplace not shitty.
Yeah, it's the confidence to be courageous. I think that's
going back to what you were saying.
Yeah, not being confident as in, but really stepping into that. I want to be the most compassionate, curious, there you go, confident. No, what does I say? Curious, compassionate and
Courageous leader.
courageous leader, and having the confidence to step into that. Yeah. Well, that means I've got to do that. At the moment,
Yes.
figuring it out.
Because you're stuck right now, like in a smidge, and like you're the most unstuck I think I've ever seen you, which is so exciting. And your coaching is gonna pave the way for this for generations to come.
I
Like
do
this
love
is a big fucking deal.
it. Mm,
And you do it in a way that's individualized for each and every one of them because you know that the secret isn't that you've got a specific magic pill. You know that it's within them themselves.
mm,
Like Dorothy reference, but it's like the red slippers. It's like she's had it within her all along.
mhm.
It's like the magic was always in her. Isn't that like I swear a really long ass time since I've seen it, but it's like she could go home the whole time.
Yeah, she could always gone. Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite songs, I must admit. Yeah.
That was not a good analogy. Take it back, but you know what I mean? It's
I know
like
what you mean. No, I know what you mean though. Yeah. Yeah.
you're helping them show the greatness within themselves.
Mm,
And so first you have to see the greatness within you.
mm,
Like you got something fucking great.
mm. Yeah.
And I think that's like the cool thing that we get to look back on is like creating these like really like badass contributions for like the world to see and feel and like and we know that we're making the world better like
Mm,
just by the one person that you're coaching.
mm,
It's going to create a ripple effect.
mm.
And it starts with that one person at a time.
Yeah.
This is so good.
Oh no, thank you. Thank you, Sharon, for letting me in there. I would have just gone to bed.
I'm so glad.
Thank you, darling.
That was awesome, you guys. That was so good. And Sharon, I'm going to see you in an hour and a half. So get ready. I was like, I'm going to coach Irma and then I'm going to coach you, and it's going to be so good. I just love you guys so much. This is so productive. Like we went everything from like the tech to like deep like meaning of like our businesses and lives. I'm like, I love coaching so much.
It's good. Luckily, you are like a tank, Megan.
What?
Luckily, you are like a tank. You've got the energy of a tank, and you work.
Right?
It's great.
I was like, God, I hope I could keep this up for like life. But right now, I mean, like this shit fuels me more than anything in the world. Like I've never felt so lit up in my life than when I'm coaching with you guys. So I love you guys all. It is an honor and privilege to be your coach. And I will see you guys next week, except for Sharon, because I'm going to see you tonight. All right. I love you guys.
Hello.
Bye.